To really play jazz bass properly, you need to understand how the 5 7th arpeggios are constructed and how to play them. Once you can do this, you've got the means to be able to create your own walking bass lines over any jazz standard with notes that outline the chords and sound great every time. This is because the notes of the arpeggios are chord tones, and these are the building blocks of bass lines. So in this lesson, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to know to play all of the 5 7th arpeggios. You can download a free PDF cheat sheet by clicking the link below this video in the description. At the end of that PDF booklet, you'll find a single page with all of the arpeggios on fret diagrams, so you can print that out and stick it out in your practice area. Arpeggio just means broken chords, so in practice that means we play the notes of the chord one after each other instead of all at once. So this is a chord, this is a broken chord or an arpeggio. We use exactly the same notes for the arpeggios as for the chords. I'm going to demonstrate all 5 of the 7th arpeggios starting on C, so you can easily see which notes change from arpeggio to arpeggio. A 7th arpeggio contains the following notes: root, 3rd, 5th and 7th. And we sometimes play the root on the top as well. Let's start with C major 7. Now in jazz, that major 7 bit refers to the 7th note. If we just say C major arpeggio, normally that major, we're talking about the 3rd, but in the case of jazz chords or jazz arpeggios, that major 7 bit means that the 7th is major or natural. Now to play a natural 7th or a major 7th, we just drop down 1 fret from the root note. So we've got C, that's the root note, B is our 7th, but we normally play it on the arpeggio an octave higher, okay? The major 7th contains the following intervals: root, major 3rd, 5th and major 7th, and those notes are C, E, G and B. And then we can play a C on the top. Okay, so let's play that ascending and descending, so going up and coming back down. Okay, so 2nd finger on C, because we're going to play the major 3rd. Okay, I'll play it again for you. So play that for me. 3, 4. So for all these arpeggios, it's really just learning the fretboard shape and also understanding what the intervals are. But once you know the intervals, then look at the shape and try and memorize that. If you're enjoying this lesson, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. You can do that by pressing the red subscribe button on the corner of the screen. And if you click the bell and select all, then you'll get notified as soon as I bring a new video out. If we play C major 7 arpeggio but flatten the 7th, then we get C7. That's just written C with a 7 sign, and it's also called a dominant 7th arpeggio. Okay, so this time we've got root, major 3rd, 5th and flattened 7th. Okay, so we've got C, E, G and B flat. Okay, so the normal 7th, the natural 7th is here, and we just drop it down 1 fret. That's the flat 7th. So we've got this arpeggio here. Okay, try that for me. 3, 4. So that's C7 or C dominant 7th arpeggio. Now if we flatten the 3rd, we get C minor 7. Okay, so we have to start with our 1st finger here because we're going to play our minor 3rd, or our flattened 3rd is here. Okay. Okay, so we've got the root, minor 3rd, 5th, flattened 7th. Okay, so we've got C, E flat, G, B flat, and we play a C on the top. Okay. Remember, when you're playing the minor 3rds, you start with your 1st finger, okay, because the minor third there, it's actually there as well. So the major third, you can drop down one to get the minor third, but it's easier to play it on the same string. So that's Cmaj7. Try that with me. 3, 4. So those are our 3 most common 7th chords, okay? So we've got C major 7, C dominant 7, or just C7 sometimes called, and C minor 7. If you're keen on developing your jazz bass playing, then check out my video course, which is called Walkin Thru Jazz. That focuses on the jazz blues progressions, because these are kind of a really good starting point for playing jazz bass. I teach you how to play walking bass lines, how to create your own walking bass lines, and how to really understand all the theory behind jazz bass. So you can check that course out. The link is below in the description or on my website, gbshed.com. So we've got the last 2 7th arpeggios to look at. We're now going to look at Cmaj7 flat 5. Okay, that's sometimes called half diminished, but Cmaj7 flat 5, you just flatten the 5th. Okay, so Cmaj7 was like this. Okay, just flatten the 5th. I reckon this is my favourite arpeggio. It's got a great sound to it. So the intervals of a Cmaj7 flat 5 arpeggio are the root note, minor third, flat 5th, flat and 7th. Okay, so it's easier to say half diminished really. So we've got C, E flat, G flat, B flat, and then C on top. So because we've got the minor third in there, we start with our first finger on the root note. Okay, try that with me. 3, 4. The last 7th arpeggio is a diminished arpeggio. All right. For this one, we basically flatten everything apart from the root note. So root, minor third or flattened third, flattened 5th, and then a double flattened 7th, which is there, but it's also here. Okay, it's easy to play it there. So we've got this kind of shape. So these notes are C, E flat, G flat, A, which is B double flat. Okay, B double flat is A, and then C on the top. Okay, so we could actually carry on. It's that fretboard shape where you just play a minor third, shift it 1 fret and 1 string, and again. A really interesting chord, a diminished chord, but I'll save explaining that for another lesson. So try it with me. So just this shape here. Try that. A bit slower. 3, 4. That's the least common really. The first 4 you definitely need to know. The diminished, you don't use it that much. So you might have noticed that the way I taught those arpeggios, when you play each arpeggio, you just flatten 1 extra note each time. So make sure that you understand what intervals are in each arpeggio and what the shapes are on the fretboards. Remember the cheat sheet you can download. The last page you can print it out. It's got all the fret diagrams in that order. Stick that up on the wall somewhere and play through those. Then you can practice these arpeggios over a jazz progression from a jazz standard. Just get it from the real book or anywhere online. Just get a jazz chart. This isn't how you play a walking bass line at a gig, but it's really good to practice arpeggios this way. For example, if we look at the first 4 chords from Autumn Leaves in the key of G minor, we've got these chords: C minor 7, F7, B flat major 7, E flat major 7. So we just play 4 notes to a bar. So first of all, C minor 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we play the first 4 notes. And then we've got F7. So remember that's the dominant shape there. We start it here. So we've got root, major 3rd, 5th, flat and 7th, and then B flat major 7. Okay, so root, 3rd, 5th, major 7, and then E flat major 7, same shape. Okay, I'll play that for you. So for just those 4 chords, we're using 3 different arpeggio shapes. So try that yourself. Well, I hope that's helped you to understand more about 7th arpeggios and how they're constructed. Once you know these 5 shapes, then you'll be well on your way to being able to create your own walking bass lines. I'd love to know how you got on with this lesson, or if you've got any questions, so leave me a comment below and let me know. And if you felt that you got value out of this lesson, you can always buy me a coffee. They're $5. The link is in the description, or you can see at the bottom of the screen here. Also check out my website gbshed.com. I've got more details of my courses, free stuff over there. You can buy t-shirts, books, and find out more about what Greg's Bass Shed is all about. And also, if you look down in the description when you get the free PDF, remember it's there, details of my course, you'll see loads of other links, useful links to Facebook pages and Instagram and different free bits of bass content. Don't forget to like and share this video. You can share it on your socials, spread the word, that really helps me out, and also subscribe to my channel. This is Greg from Greg's Bass Shed. Hope to see you very soon in the next lesson.